Hello, history enthusiasts. Today we are starting our virtual heritage series. So, we have selected the Yalagureshwara temple as our first virtual heritage site to depict in our page. So, let's start the video. The Yalagureshwara temple, according to its architecture, if we observe it, it is basically constructed by Kalyani Chalukyas. As such, we don't have any inscriptions available in the premises of temple, but according to the characteristics of architecture, I have recognized it as a Kalyani Chalukya's construction work. Basically, Yalguru, this village was agrahara, Vaishnva agrahara, and of course the local people also believe that Vyasa Tirtharu, who was saint in Vijayanagar dynasty, once had visited this temple. This temple basically was patronized by many kings like Adil Shahis, Kalyani Chalukyas, Vijayanagara dynasty, etc. And a family named as Katti, basically till today, which exists, basically that family became the source for the origin of this temple according to the local history or oral history. A person named Bhimacharya, who according to oral history came from Maharashtra to Yalguru and settled here, and he basically found this main vigraha, which is now being worshipped in the Garbhagriha. So it's a very simple temple. No too much architectural marvels are there inside the temple. Very less sculptures we find, which are very unique according to me, which I have of course, which we have shown in the video. So here there are like Narasimha sculpture is there, then erotic sculptures are there, and Nritya Balika sculptures are there, and of course Nakshatra sculpture, which we see in Hampi also. So the same star symbol, which particularly is in front of every Hanuman temple, that we can see. Not much extra carvings are available. The outer part of the temple is newly built, and the Shikhara is also newly built. It's not earlier one. So if you see the inner architecture, there was no Shikhara itself. It was just a platform temple. No Shikhara was there. Now newly Shikhara has been built, and there is also a Malagamba in front of the temple, of course, which is of course which belongs to medieval period. And the temple has Pradakshina Patha, very wide Pradakshina Patha. Now of course renovations have been done, but earlier those renovations were not there. Only the main Garbhagriha and the entrance was there. And on the back side of the temple, in Pradakshina Pada itself, there is a Tulsi Katte. According to oral history and local history, this Tulsi Katte has around 108 saligramas in it, and because of this Tulsi Katte itself, the family Katti, who basically found established the Vigraha in Garbhagriha, are called as Kattis. And there is also a tradition that Katti clan people, they can't buy Tulsi Katte in their own home by themselves. Someone else from other family or other clan has to gift them, because they only have one Tulsi Katte which is situated in this Yalgureshwara temple. So Yalgureshwara is called as the Yeluru vadeya because there are around 7 villages around Yalgur, uh, who basically worship Yalagureshwara. So he is called as the king of 7 villages, Yeluru vadeya. But it's very sad that there are no inscriptions available in the temple. And one bad thing which I observed was many of the sculptures, unique sculptures, limited unique sculptures, they have been painted that too without any measures taken by the like by the painters. And this painting has destroyed the beauty of that sculptures, which is a very sad thing. And one more sad thing is that the local university history and archaeology departments are not at all enthusiastic to protect or restore this heritage, this tangible and intangible heritage. So now itself, if we see from around 10 years back, the original beauty of those sculptures is of course declined. And of course, if we imagine the same temple after 20 or 25 years later, of course the original heritage may not exist also. So it's very sad thing. So I hope if any particular people who belong to nearest universities, history and archaeology department, and if they feel to like do the restoration, then of course it will be a great a pleasure for the history enthusiast group to support them as a pillar, of course. And I tried a lot to collect the information. So basically it is of course agrahara, and we can see that it was constructed on the banks of Krishna river. So that was the main purpose, that the Brahmin clan should not get any water problems. So that's why it was settled on the banks of Krishna river. As we see, all the agraharas are settled on the banks of rivers or any one particular pound or kola. So in the same manner, of course, now it's a small village, but some extra constructions works are being done, of course. So if anyone is interested in doing project on particularly Yalguru, historical, cultural, socio-cultural, on its oral history, please contact us. We will be most happy to support you, and we will do whatever we can. So any young scholar who wants to conduct a research on Yalaguru, on its oral history, please contact us. And I hope this small step to put light on a tangible heritage which is underrated or ignored by its own people will get some light in our history and archaeology world. Thank you so much for this video. Stay tuned for our next video and lectures. Thank you so much. If you have not yet subscribed to our channel, please subscribe, like, and if you feel that this video is informative enough, then please share it to everyone who is in contact with you. That's it for this video. Thank you so much. So before concluding, I want to give some insights for youth who wants to do research on Yalguru. or for people also who are watching this video. So every year there will be a Kartik held. You can call it as Jatra. It's a 3 days Jatra. So the main population of this Jatra is Brahmins, that too particularly Madhwa Brahmins. Yeah, of course, other community people also visit, uh, particularly for darshana, but the Nevidya process and all is basically consist of Madhwa community Brahmins. Uh, as I have observed this Jatra or Kartik, there is one custom with which I am very disappointed. One particular custom. So on the last day of Kartik, that will be held on Sunday. That it is like every year it will be on Saturday, Sunday, and all like that. So because Saturday is day of Lord Hanuman, so that's why it starts from Saturday and like ends on Sunday, like that it is. So on Sunday, last day of Kartik, there is a custom in which the other community people or Harijana people, they cook or cook their Nivedya or prasadam. They submit it to the temple pujari, and after showing it as Nevedya to the god, the pujari mixes all the prasadam given by lot of other community people will be there, and they sit on road openly, and randomly they throw that prasadam in front of the people. It is very disappointing for me. Every year I feel bad about it. I don't know whom to inform and how to stop it. Yeah, of course, submitting the prasadam and redistributing it to people is fine, but they can distribute it in a very respectful manner. They can give it in a disposable plate, or they can just make a particular plates for them, and they can serve. It will be respectful both for the people who are willing to have it and the person who is like distributing it, and also it will be very pleasant to people who are seeing it. It's literally very unpleasant and an unhealthy culture to take on to the next generation. If any administrator is watching it who is connected with Vijayapura district, I request them, please take some actions just to stop some part of this culture. Just stop that throwing method. Rather than throwing, they can respectfully serve it, right? That too, they don't throw it like on plate or something, just on round people's circle will be there. They just throw it on like in front of them itself. So it's very bad. It's very bad. It's very unhealthy. So I know it may sound very weird, but yeah, it's true. It's happening in democratic society of 21st century in India. So it's true. I have myself seen this culture happening in front of my eyes, and I felt really, really very bad. Basically, I didn't wanted to mention it, but if I don't mention this thing in our page, it will not be a honest virtual tour. So some more insights I want to give. Colonialism particularly affected Yalgur a lot. When a British rule started in India, they stopped all the donations to Brahmin agraharas. Like earlier kings or dynasties used to continuously give donations, and agraharas were free, tax free villages. But when British rule started, all these agraharas were transformed from tax free villages into tax paying villages. So the patronage of dynasty declined for those agraharas, and agraharas became common villages as any other village. That particular colonization declined the economic situation of many of the Brahmins who were staying in Yalgur. So, particularly many Brahmin families, they in fact didn't had money to have day-to-day food also. That kind of situation occurred, and schools were not there. Of course, now schools and all are available in Yalgur, around Yalgur, of course. But when British period came to rule, and that independence period, colonization, that period, no schools were there. So because economic situation of the Brahmins was not good, they were very incapable of sending their kids also to school. So the situation was very very bad. Yeah, but the further generations, they particularly got educated somehow, and many of them are now settled in one or the other way. We can't say all the families are educated, but yeah, we can take it as 80 to 90% max to max. So that one thing I observed. And one more issue I want to talk about Yalgur's intangible culture is that particularly the Madhwa saints, they particularly believe in Yalagureshwara a lot. So many Madhwa saints come here, and they particularly do puja for 2 months, 3 months, and many homas will be done, and that is one part of intangible culture. And Okali, playing Okali during Kartik, of course, in any jatras we see playing Okali play. So in the same manner, in Yalguru also during Kartik, Okali is played. Now of course as symbolic it is played. Earlier, as I got to know by some elder people of the village through oral history, that very very pleasurefully both genders, women and men, used to play Okali. But now it's not like that, it's very symbolic, and mainly men take part in it. But earlier both the genders used to participate in this Okali play. I'm just mentioning the meaning of Okali because many may not be knowing who are watching this video. Okali means it's a game where in a small pond water will be filled, and each genders, they throw water on each other from that pond, and whoever wins, like, that is the game. So that is one intangible culture, nothing wrong in it. Of course, it's a pleasureful culture. No wrong, there is nothing wrong continuing that culture, of course. One more thing, particularly, it's not a part of heritage, of course. He's part of history, of course. Subaltern history, I can say, which I came to know, of course, through oral history, was after independence also till 2000. Recently, untouchability existed in Yalguru, which is a sad thing, particularly, but it existed, and of course, I came to know that there is one particular well in front of the temple, and Harijanas were not allowed to take water from that well till 2000. Recently, of course, untouchability was abolished long ago. Surely it was abolished, and of course, constitution came to existence in 1950, but till 2000 it existed, and people who witnessed it have told me that yeah, they have seen this happening, and it was bad. So the concept of democracy on books, it's really very very happening, we can say, in our youth language. Very happening, or very very what we can say is worth and all. But of course, democracy is worth, I agree, but some things are not no, some things don't get as applicable when comes to practical life. So that is very bad thing. When I came to know about this truth, it was very very it was like shock for me, basically, because yeah, till 2000 recently, so it's very bad. Maybe if it would have continued, it would have impacted our next generation very badly, and I don't want that to happen. I'm glad now it has ended. Since I remember when from my childhood I'm visiting the temple, I don't remember any such kind of happenings whenever I have visited, particularly. But the Karthik's intangible culture, which I mentioned earlier, I have seen that happening. Every year happens. So I tried to find out the reason why that one particular custom is cultivated in Karthik process, but I am unable to get the answers from anyone. Nobody knows. Nobody knows why it was added. Nobody knows what was the main motive behind it, but they are continuing it. Of course, in fact, it is said in Bhagavad Gita itself, according to the time, cultures, traditions should change, and this is not necessary. This should change. So I particularly request, if any administrator who belongs to Vijayapura district is watching this video, then please take actions. And if you need any help, we will be there. And of course, now highway is connected with the dam, and Lal Bahadur Shastri Dam. It is near Yalguru itself, connected with Krishna river. So because of that, many tourists are visiting the temple, and that is creating lot of revenue. Earlier, the puja process of the temple was only restricted to Brahman community people. In 2011, I guess, a rule was passed by the government, and particularly Hugar community people were given the authority to do the puja in all the Hanuman temples of Karnataka. I know many maybe knowing about it also. It was there in news for a lot of long period. It was there in the news. So now Hugar community people are the pujas there, but on special occasions like Ram Navami, Hanuman Jayanti, Madhwa Navami, Krishnashtami, Krishna Janmashtami, etc. days, and special days like Deepavali, Dasara and Kartik, yearly Kartik. On all these days, mainly the Brahmin achars only do the first puja. And but yeah, now equality, we can say anyone can enter the temple, anyone can worship the god, which is good thing. Everybody has right to enter the temple. And I see that, in fact, during Kartik we see Islamic people also visiting the temple. They also follow Yalgureshwara. I have seen it by myself that some Islamic people also visit. Yeah, of course. So that is a good change. These things I thought are important to be mentioned before ending the video, because seeing a village or a town or city's history only with one positive outlook is not a good thing. We have to identify the negative aspects of its past. We have to mention them in front of our youths, in front of people of the country, of the state, of that district to which that particular place belongs. They need to know, and they have to understand some things are not necessary to be continued. There is one research project on it done by Vanita Angadi, but it is not so satisfying work done by her. So we can't depend upon that work. It was done for her MA project, MA final year project, but not that much quality work has been done. So nothing new has been shown in it. Much of it is just stories, Puranic stories and all. Not much of that has been mentioned. So this village needs to be the part of our research, of course, and its intangible and tangible heritage both can be the topics of research. So please, if anybody is interested, you can do. The village is inviting you, we are inviting you to do. So yeah, there I particularly end my talk, and thank you so much. Please keep watching us, and once again, like, share and subscribe. Thank you so much.